Hi everyone, welcome to Mrs. Lincoln's Inkin and this week's Friday video tutorial. The project that we are going to be making today is this adorable little top note treat box. And when you open it up like this, you can put all kinds of little goodies in there for Halloween. I thought it would be so cute for like a little Halloween party or something like that. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that you're going to need for this project is a piece of cardstock, and I'm using the basic black today. And this piece is cut at 5.5 by 8. So we need our Simply Scored. Make sure you're in the camera here. Okay. Now with the 8-inch side at the top, we need to score at 1, 3.5, 4.5, and 7. So again, that's 1, 3.5, 4.5, and 7. Then we need to flip it over on the 5.5-inch side, and we need to score at 1, and then we need to score at 4.5. All right, so we're all done with this. So we'll put that away. Now once you have all your scoring done, you're going to see that there's going to be boxes down here, a small, large, small, large, small. And it's like that on both sides. What we need to do is we need to take our paper snips and we need to cut all these score lines up to what would have been the 1-inch score line that we just made. Now, before we do that though, oh my goodness, almost missed one of the most important parts. We need to reinforce our score lines, because with any box or bag or anything that we make, it's very important that we reinforce, because it just helps our project to be put together that much easier when folding and doing things of that nature. So, whew, good thing I didn't miss that step, or I would have been in trouble later on. Okay, now we need to cut all of our score lines up to that 1-inch score line right there. Now, you might have heard me say before in my videos to notch out your score marks. And because this is a box that's going to be opened and closed, I would strongly suggest notching out. And what I mean by notching out is you just take on one side of your score line, and then you come to the other side and just make a little notch. So it's not just, can you see that? So it's kind of like a triangle almost. And what this does is when you're using your adhesive and putting your flaps together to make your box, it helps them kind of, I don't know, line up and go together easier than if it was just a normal, you know, snip up to the score line. The notches do not have to be big by any means. You know, it can just be little, but if you do get a little hasty and, you know, take a bigger one out, that's okay, because they're going to be on the inside of your box. You can't see them anyway. See, like that one was bigger, so it doesn't matter. But I would suggest notching them out because it helps them go together. So once all of that is done, I like to flip it over, and then we need to put adhesive on all of these little squares right here. I'm using the Fast Fuse today, and if you don't have Fast Fuse, I would strongly suggest red sticky or some sort of, you know, sticky adhesive, because with boxes, again, or bags or any sort of project that we're doing, snail tends to kind of wear out, so it doesn't, you know, it's better to use something that's more sturdy. Once we have our adhesive on, we just need to fold our squares in, lining those edges up right there, and then pressing. And if you are using the Fast Fuse, be very careful when you're lining things up, because Fast Fuse is not forgiving. So if you don't get it even, or, you know, make a boo-boo, it's not going to let you tear it apart to try again. It's going to say, sorry, I'm just stuck here like this. So be very careful with using the Fast Fuse. It's no joke, but I love it. Just like that. and then this last one right here. There we go. All right, so then there is our box. How cute. Now with my boxes here, I like to make a little notch out, which is what I did on this one. Just a really tiny little, just to kind of help get your finger in there. So I took my 1-inch punch, and you're going to notice that it only goes in so far, and that's just as far as you want it. You don't want it to be, you know, very far in there. That's why it doesn't matter to me if I do it beforehand or not, because it just gives me that really nice little curve right there. Not too much, not too little. It's just perfect. Okay, so there's our box. Next, we need to make our top notes. So you're going to need 2 pieces of paper cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Now for me, I'm actually using 4 pieces. Let me explain why. On this one, I used just DSP, and I found that it was just a little too flimsy. I didn't really like it. So I'm going to put my DSP on top of my cardstock, and this is what it's going to look like after it's done. I pre-did this one to save time for the video, but this one is the DSP, and then I have basic black cardstock on the back. So this is actually, for me, if you do it this way, you're going to need 4 pieces of paper cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, 2 DSP, and then 2 of the color that you choose. So with that being said, let's grab the Big Shot. Make sure you're in the camera there. All right. Now on the top note die, I hope you can see it in the video. I don't know if you can or not. Right here on the top note, there are little dashes that go right underneath the edge and the cutting spot of the top note. Right there, there's little dashes. So we need to take our cardstock and our DSP, okay, and we need to put the side of our DSP that we want. So see, I want this little spot in my corner. So this would be the side. We need to place these 2 pieces right underneath those dashes right there. Let me see if I can get you to see it right here. Oops. So just that edge right there needs to go right underneath those dashes, okay? So then we take our clear plate, making sure not to move it, taking our clear plate and then our top note die, our paper, and our other clear plate, and then we're gonna roll them through the Big Shot. Okay, so now you have, after you get all your pieces off of here, you have these 2 pieces. Super cute. Okay, get this out of the way. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put adhesive on the back of my DSP here, and then I'm just going to line this up with my basic black, and then this is going to make it more sturdy, and that's what I want, because I just thought that the DSP on the other one was just a little too flimsy and I didn't like it. Okay, so now what we need to do is adhere them to our box. So what I do, because your box is pretty sturdy because it's cardstock, I just take my snail and I just put my snail right here on the top of my box. We're going to line this edge up, and we're going to place our top note right on the edge of our box. And I don't measure or anything like that. I just eyeball it. Probably not the best way to do it, but I haven't found an exact science to make sure that they're... Oops, see, I was talking and not paying attention. Well, this is a good point. If something like this ever happens and you put adhesive in the wrong spot, which I do a lot, you just take your adhesive remover here, and I'm sorry, the camera might be wiggling for a minute while I'm getting this done. You just take your adhesive remover that's sold by Stampin' Up. It's amazing. And it just takes snail right off. It's like magic. No more snail. Now, it won't work, unfortunately, with fast fuse or red sticky or anything like that, but it works perfect with snail. So see, it's like it never happened. Alright, now we're going to line this up here with the edge of our box. And I kind of turn it this way, and I hope my head's not in the camera. And kind of make sure. There we go. Perfect. Voila. How cute. See? And then it stands up too. How adorable. And then for my greeting, what I did was I took the Happy Haunting from the Ghoulish Greetings. It's right here. And if you're wondering how I got the 2 sayings in here, what I did is I took my long, my stamp here, and I didn't cut it or anything like that. I took just a regular Post-it note. And when I wanted the word happy, I used the sticky side of the Post-it note, and I covered up haunting. Inked my word happy, took the Post-it note off, stamped it, and did the exact same thing when I wanted the word haunting. Cover the happy up like this, ink the word haunting, and then that's how I got the 2-worded image right there. Instead of trying to cut my stamp and do things like that because they're little greetings, that's just how I did it. And then with the 1 3/8 circle punch, and then the pumpkin pie in the 1 3/4 scallop circle, then I'm just going to take some dimensionals, just like this. Oop. And I'm going to put this, I think, right there. Looks good. Alrighty. And there you go. There is the top note treat box. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video tutorial. Thanks so much for stopping by. Until next time, happy inking!